Yeah, we could wait 5 minutes, yeah. We are here for race number 11 for the Bonfire Premier Cup in the capital state of Georgia, the city of the forest. Yes, the Big Beach. We're here in Atlanta. I am Pimlet and I'm pleased to be with you for KVOK Racing Network to bring you some great racing action from my own new hometown here in Atlanta. But I couldn't do this by myself, so I want to bring quickly my co-commentator Peter Lee. Peter, the big question is, are you ready?
Oh, thanks so much, Pim. What a great Father's Day treat. Just here to enjoy and call some fantastic high-speed racing.
Yes, but first thing, what do we, Peter and myself, doing on an oval race?
Well, in fact, I guess we have to come clean to all the viewers. You and I, we're not oval track racers. We're road racing specialists. We compete every week pretty hard in Sunday Night Skippy, driving Skip Barber Formula 2000 cars. We dabble with the USF 2000, with the new Formula V cars. Sometimes they're open wheel and even GT cars. But that doesn't mean we aren't fans of oval track racing. It's a discipline that is just incredibly exciting to watch, and so I'm just really thrilled that we have the privilege of being here together to call the action today.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome pleasure to do this. It is. We started Thursday with our first stream. This is already our second stream, so we're learning quite quickly. If there's anything going wrong, we would love to hear that on the YouTube or Twitch account. So we'll try to follow that a little bit. But for now, we're going to the race to see what's happening in Atlanta. The qualifications are already in progress. I think they started a little bit early. I'm not sure if that's normal in oval, but it's good to see that there are a lot of drivers already finished with their qualification. I can maybe have a quick look if we can see already some times. I see Chris Summerall on the first spot, champion of this league. So that's I think as expected. Do we see any other names or things that we want to call out?
Well, in fact, I think this is race number 11 in a 12-race season, so it's the second to last race in the Bonfire Premier Cup season. And Chris Morrill does have a commanding lead. I think something like a 13-point lead in the season standings. But it's definitely not open or over yet. Brandon Shelton still mathematically in it. Other people like Nathan Moore are coming on strong. I think David Medina definitely is in a battle for one of the season podium spots. So a lot can happen. And as the league saw last week, with Chris Morrill really running into issues and not finishing well, anything can happen with this and the last race of the season still to come.
Awesome, yeah. I'm really curious. I will confess a couple of times, but one of my first confessions will be that I've never actually finished a whole race. So I watched a lot of races. I watched a lot of things on Twitch. But I have not really seen a beginning till the end. So this is going to be my first introduction on that. I'm excited to see this. We've talked to Chris Small a lot about this race to give us a little bit of an insight. I'm not sure if I will remember it. I will be honest. It was a lot of information.
It's a little bit like for sure speed is going to matter here. And seeing Chris Morrill at the top of the timing charts after qualification, you see that he has that speed. But even more important than that, in this form of racing, is the strategic aspect. This is a track that is extremely high speed with a crazy 24-degree banking around four corners. Tire wear, tire temps are going to be big. Managing fuel and just staying clean and out of trouble and staying on the lead lap so you have a chance when the final 20-25 laps come up in this 115-lap race. All of those things just loom so large in a race like this compared to the kinds of road racing, Pim, that you and I do.
Yeah, that's a complete different... I was already thinking about the time. We discussed it's going to be 2 hours. So 2 hours of driving, that's a lot more than we have to do.
Well, I think the viewers can probably tell from your accent, Pim, you're Dutch by
Yeah.
background, and I always poke fun at all of you folks from Europe that all of your auto racing is set up as sprints. Everything from Formula One on down are short little races, and here in the U.S. with this very uniquely American discipline, uh, these are actually endurance races. And as a fan, you're here to spend the day. You're going to be out there. You're going to tailgate. You're going to have a good party. You're going to have some cold beverages, and then you're going to spend 2 or 3 or 4 hours watching a race and watching that unfold. And so it's a different discipline, not only for the drivers on the track, but it's a different discipline for the race fans as well. And so it's just really a cool thing just to see. And then
Right.
even within the race, with such a long race, you have the early part of the race, which is actually a different kind of discipline than the last 20, 30 laps, where things really get dicey.
So they're now starting on their first lap. That's going to be a formation lap or something similar like that.
Yes, and so there'll be 2 columns with a rolling start. And another big thing here, which is different than the road races that we're in, is if there are accidents that cause a yellow flag to come out, typically those won't be local course yellows, but they'll be full course yellows. And that adds another strategic wrinkle. And we'll be trying to parse that out, trying to sort that out as
Yeah.
the race goes on.
So Peter, they're coming now into this last corner. Pace car will go off, and what happens then?
Well, Chris Morrill, who is on the pole, will be able to set the pace on when the race starts. That's either as soon as he starts to take off or across the start-finish line. And already the test match begins.
So pace car is going in right now. They're lining up, all waiting for those lights to go on. The lights are going red and we're off. Look at that, we're going. Amazing to see that immediately full speed, side by side in that first corner. Some small changes. Bullock is dropping a little bit. We also see Cheeseman trying to go immediately for that lead. Is that important, Peter, to have a good look right now what your position is? What would be the tactic? It's a long race.
Well, I think there'll be several different strategies that drivers can choose from. You can try to set the pace and force everyone to follow your lead. And if you're able to manage your tires that way, and you are strategic and smart about how to manage the cautions, that could work out. But I think a more typical strategy would be to try to go for longer stints and not burn up your tires too soon. Try to stay on the lead lap, maybe even in the lead pack, and bide your time until you get near the end of the race.
Makes sense, makes sense. You see that that's also really happening right now. You see the first 4 really closing up to each other, trying to form a pack and trying to get a little bit of a lead, maybe even run away. But it seems that the strategy is for everybody the same. They are familiar with 115 laps. And it's good to see that we don't have any crashes and we all form quite a long line already. Only Cheeseman is still on that second row. Pretty much everybody goes for that first row.
Now, one thing that we're seeing here is a couple of different grooves. Now, this is a really fast track. You're seeing already that the cars are turning laps in the low 31-second range. It's pretty fast, and as they're coming around, especially here in turn 2, turn 2 is pretty tricky, especially as you start to get into tire issues, primarily in the right front. Turn 2 can be a place where these cars will have a tendency to get pretty tight. And so any attempt to overcorrect there could lead to some incidents coming, especially on the exit of turn 2. So it'll be something for us to watch as the race gets a little bit deeper into the middle section.
Yeah, Peter, we do see now 2 groups forming. One big pack, I think 10 drivers. And then the rest following right over there with a little bit of a gap. So what if you're that driver that is in front of that second pack? What do you do? Are you getting worried already? We're only in lap 6 and we're already behind quite a bit.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that there's no one on track right now that's in any kind of panic at all. You know, it's got to be important to stay on the lead lap because you don't want to have to depend on being a lucky dog in order to unlap yourself. So that's important. But no, this is still very, very early, and I think everyone here is, I'm sure, being patient, biding their time, and just making sure that they stay within contact.
So we're driving along with Binish as last position. I'm not sure if we missed something, but I also see that Pfeiffer is already out. He didn't start, I hope. Hope that was the problem, because I didn't see anything going wrong. But I do see, if we look along with Binish, is that he's missing a little bit the gap. What can he do about that? Just being calm and sit and wait?
I think so. Anything can happen. If we, for example, if we get a full course caution, he'll be able to catch up really with no trouble at all. And once at these kinds of high speeds, of course, the draft matters a lot. And so really his only real goal at this point is to really recapture the draft.
All right, we're back to the first pack, who is really gaining a lot of speed. It's nice to see also the cooperation between all the drivers. Don't see many fights going on.
Well, this has got to be the great thing about league racing at this elite level in iRacing, because these guys, they know each other. They're seeing each other on track week after week. They know each other's tendencies, and they know what to expect. It's a incredibly friendly community, but they're pretty competitive, and as all racers are, and so I'm sure they're all trying to understand and exploit each other's weaknesses.
Yeah, while we talk about it, I do see that Hoppy and Dorsey up on position 9 and number 10 are dropping a little bit from that big pack. So that also gives the chance to some back drivers to come back as well. Seems to be that Hoppy and Dorsey are not giving an inch to each other, inside and outside, staying side by side, not working together at all.
Well, Pim, you and I got some track time here yesterday together, just to get a sense of the car, of the track. And one thing, that of course is probably partly due to our inexperience at a high-speed oval like this, is the tires really got noticeably slower around lap 10, 12, 13. We're in lap 13 right now. And so even for these great experienced oval track drivers, I'm sure they're starting to really think hard about tire management. And, in this race, it's 115 laps, and the drivers are limited to just 2 tire changes. So this is about the time where we might start to see a little more care given, maybe the throttle lifting a little bit more through some of the turns, and just trying to nurse these tires along, just especially given how clean the racing is so far.
Yeah, I think the tactic part is a real thing that I'm not just sure if I understand yet, but what I do see on the screen now is that the first group is getting really slower. Small, Medina, Cheeseman, and more are really getting again a gap on the second pack, also for drivers. So they're really trying now to keep that pace high up and see who drops off. Because I think that's the game right now. We're in lap 15. And it looks a little bit like it's just holding on.
Indeed, and in that second pack of Doug Neal, Ryan Twynham, Kevin Bullock, and Robbie Cheeseman, they're also, I think doing the same thing as the lead pack. And then there's another pack after that with John Hopley, Brandon Shelton, and Cody Dorsey. And so we are starting to see these groups form. But, it's to their credit, they're really keeping it clean. It's still just really anybody's race here.
Yeah, it's so I was telling that I watched this on Twitch. It started with the pandemic, where actually Formula One wasn't driving anymore, and the only things that were live were on iRacing. So I started to watch it through Twitch, and I've learned the rules through there watching it. I do have to say I want to do a shout out to David Schildhaus. It's one of the drivers that I watch, and it really grabs to me how much tactic is involved in these races. How much you have to pay attention about when people have to pit, what you have to do exactly. It's a lot more than just 4 corners. What I originally thought. I will be honest on that.
Well, and of course with Chris Smorrell, he has an event called the Winter Challenge, and I've done a couple of oval track races as part of Chris's Winter Challenge, and I'll tell you, as a road racer, man, it is a humbling experience to try to just finish a race on a high-speed oval like this, let alone be competitive. It's a different discipline with a different set of skills, and it's just something that will just punish any small mistake. Pim, when you and I are on a road course, and if we swap ends, we're off in the dirt or in the gravel, we can recover and keep going. Here, you hit a wall and it's race over, and so it's just something that requires so much strategy, so much care, and just being mistake free.
Yeah, I think that mistake free. When I watch it on Twitch, then I only see prep races, or a lot of prep races, and I have to say, a lot more yellows were involved. That was the one thing that I was always a little bit hesitant about to try the ovals, because you don't want to drive around constantly in yellows over here. But it seems that that's not necessary, because already on lap 20 I haven't seen any incidents, anybody hitting anybody. It's ultimately very clean.
Right. Well, and if the race stays clean like this, the way these guys are driving, the pit window will start to open on or about lap 40. So maybe there's an open pit window for fuel between laps 40 and 50. And so we're about halfway to that open pit window, assuming that the race stays caution-free the way it's going like now.
Yeah, we're looking up here with Brandon Shelton and Robbie Cheeseman, who are working together. Again, we have a family Cheeseman up here, Sean and Robbie. Currently, Sean is definitely in the lead, taking that third position.
And Brandon Shelton, he's made up 5 positions, and this is an important race for him because he's still mathematically in it for the season championship. I think he's 12 or 13 points behind Chris Smorrell, and so he'll need a little bit of misfortune, most likely, to hit Chris. But if that should happen, Brandon will need as strong a finish as possible in this race, and probably at Talladega next week.
Yeah, we're driving along with him right now, and Shelton, he can still see the guys in front of him. He can even see Small right up front over there, but he does need to make some pace, I think. He needs to, otherwise you're working on your tires. This is going to cost a lot of fuel. So I hope he seems to get back to Neil and try to see if he can save something. Because it looks like if he gets that spot back with the 3 in front of him, then coming back to the lead pack is not going to be that difficult. But you also have to think about saving your tires, because what we noticed was that after, I think it was lap 10, when I drove full speed, I really could feel already the difference. So we're now on lap 24. Those tires, they need the drivers need to feel this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in our practice session, I don't know if we would be keeping it clean and on track at lap 25.
Oh no, sorry, lap 10 I was there. I will be honest, I think I crashed twice before even leaving the pit entry. I didn't know that car had that much power. That's amazing to feel that, but it's also, I do have to say, when we drove a couple of rounds, I was really getting excited about it, and I was a little bit feel sad that we only had 2 cars on. This looks a lot more fun. Oh, we do see a move over there in the front. We have to, it's Bullock that is taking the inside line right there. Or is that Twinham? I have to still, no, it's not Twinham.
Oh, we have an incident. Nathan Moore and it looks like Sean Cheeseman hit a wall, got into a little contact, and with Ryan Twynham and maybe with Nathan Moore. This may bring out.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't see
looks like no full course caution. So I think that's because the car did end up coming to rest below the line. So it looks like racing.
All right, we're looking at the incident right now. He goes to the inside. Oh, and there it goes wrong. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't. Let's see if we can get a better spot on that one.
Oh, and then we have another issue with Doug Neal.
Doug Neal goes here on the outside, and he's going to hit that wall. And when you hit the wall, it's really difficult to get feeling. But what I don't understand, Peter, I thought we're going to get yellows over here. So this is then the first yellow. The first caution that we have. All right.
All right, so now with 27 laps completed, if the pit lane opens, it'll be very interesting. This could be an opportune time for the first tire change and fuel. And so let's see what happens, and we'll see the field bunch up. And this is really great, I think, especially for the people further back in the field. All the way back to Sebastian Scott. It'll really allow people to come around and also freshen up their tires. Let's see what happens.
All right, we see Chris coming in. Everybody goes into the pit lane. I think everybody has the same tactic. We have one person continuing the ride, Hopley. He's not going to pit. So what do you think the different tactic of Hopley is? He's now driving number 1. Is track position this important right now?
Yeah, it's really unclear to me. Also, we've seen a few people, come out with pretty short stops. Sid Butler came out with really a short stop, and he might be counting on another yellow. Same thing with John Hopley. Chris Morrill's coming out.
Chris Morrill did lose, I think, some track position with Butler right there.
That's right.
So that means that Butler took a quicker pit stop than Small.
Yes.
And that's the reason why he's up there. All right. Did you see if... okay, Butler is coming in right now. So he takes it one round later. Shall we have a quick look if we can get some driver? I'm quite curious to hear from one of the drivers.
Yeah, let's see if we can do that. And
we've seen them pretty much all lined up again behind the pace car. It's lap number 13. We had some interesting fights going on. People got hurt, and Hopley didn't go into the pits, and that's the reason why he's now on the number 1 position. Small on the 2nd position, his lead pretty much the whole 30 laps. But do look at Shelton. He has moved up a lot of spots and is already now on the 4th position. So while we were talking about him going a little bit slower, he actually takes up right the position where he wants to be, right behind Small. He's now back in that control. And I think the pit is, the pace car is in. So that means one more lap to go. Or is it right over here? No, they're actually going right now already. And look at that. Binish is immediately taking that position. Good to see that Small's taking that lead and keeps it over there. So they need to start all over again. It's first back with Small, Binish and Dorsey. They need to start working together to again see what they can do. Number 6, the position of Moore, is a little bit behind. In the first 30 laps he was really closing that 3rd, 4th position. But I see that he's dropping a little bit right there.
you know, it's just interesting to see how much ground Brandon Shelton made up in that caution.
Exactly. I was just saying the same thing. It's amazing that he just really won, and he was exactly where he wanted to be, right behind Small, and could definitely see. But on the moment, I see that Dorsey and Twinham are really taking a big advantage. Seems that Chris Small takes it a little bit more easy, and that gives the opportunity for Twinham and Dorsey to really go along and driving over there on the first position. We're looking here together with that beautiful pink number 8. Nice car. It's the first time that he's on the lead over here. Dorsey right behind him. He is looking on that inside, but I don't think he's going to make a move right here. It's a long way to go. So just working together. That's currently, but you do see they have big. It's now already 2.30 seconds the lead from Smorol. Oh, sorry, from Twinham and Dorsey on Smorol. That's growing quite hard. So I'm a little bit worried.
Well, you know, it's pretty interesting because now we're 35 laps in, and you know, this could be a time where Twinham and Dorsey maybe want to try to force the issue a little bit, and you know, see where it's going. They're seeing, you know, that it was a pretty clean race. They could be making the assessment that there aren't going to be that many cautions in this race, and it's time to start really setting the pace. Doing that, if the race stays clean, there could be just one more stop. It could even happen under green. And so,
oh, we see something with Riley. He hit the wall, and that was an impressive move that he could save that without a caution, and he's just continuing. Amazing job. I do see that Chris Small has dropped again a position. The leader of this championship is right now on position 6, and he's really dropping. So either there's something wrong with that car, or you're right, and it's an all strategy mastermind game. But currently, I'm not sure what's happening. I do see that for Shelton this is pretty good, because he is very close with Small, and that leaves everything open for the championship.
well, and in fact, you know, Chris Morrill, he just needs a good finish. Any kind of top 10 finish here for Chris Morrill, sets him up for a season win at Talladega next week. And so if I had to bet, he's in his mind is thinking, I'm going to keep it clean. I'm going to probably assume a clean race from here on out, with only one more stop, probably a stop under green. And so he's gonna take it easy. Brandon Shelton, he's going to need to push, and he's definitely doing that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's only Brandon Shelton. Also, if David Medina wants to have that third spot and continues that, then he also needs to continue driving. Nick Mills is on the 4th position in the championship. So I hope he gets some good points here. And currently, Medina is on the 11th position in that big pack.
Yeah, you're making a great point, Pim. Brandon Shelton, David Medina, Nick Mills, they are in a huge battle for the remaining season podium spots. And it's so this is the chess game within the chess game of this race.
Yeah,
just exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think we've seen the same thing in our championship, where at one point you don't go for always the winning races, but more for how can you gain the most points in the safest way. And that seems to be a little bit the tactic for Smorol. He's just dropping back, making sure that he's still number one in the championship, but has a safe way, and that gives the opportunity to Ryan Twinham and Cody Dorsey to really go along. If you look, Dorsey is just really following nicely. With our practice, I noticed that sometimes it's quite difficult to really get up close to the driver and not hit the car. But he's doing an awesome job on that, and they're really making it work. But I also want to mention Butler, because Sid Butler made a really impressive pit stop, or at least I didn't see him in the top 10, and suddenly he was there. And he's now on that 3rd position, and he's pretty much alone, driving a little bit, getting into his rhythm, and it's a solid 3rd place over here.
Oh, and he's up 14 positions from where he qualified. Robert Riley, running in P5, is up 11 positions, and so there are some people who've really made really strong moves. Back up front, Ryan Twinham and Cody Dorsey, they're going to start coming up on some traffic, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But boy, they are really setting the pace. They're setting some fast laps in the low 31-second range. It's I think they're really trying to put some pressure on the whole field now.
Yeah, this makes it really really interesting. I like to see that part. Let's have a quick look how Dorsey sees that from his car over here. Oh, there are some rules apparently, because I do see the lap cars going by. And Cody Dorsey driving along. You see that he's making sure that he's behind Twinham. Grabs all that back.
Pim, one thing that's endlessly fascinating for road racers like you and me are the different racing lines, the different grooves that are available on these ovals. You and I are used to tracks where there's basically one line through any corner. But here you can see there are different grooves and different ways of catching and managing and hanging on to the draft. It's really, really fascinating. And, as you see these cars come through, especially around turn 2, it looks to me like they're trying to hit late apexes, what we would call in road racing a late apex, probably to, save the tires a little bit, keep the temperatures under control. And it's just really, really fascinating just to see what they do and how precisely they manage these things.
All right. We're currently looking at Gary.
Oh, looks like we have an issue with Gary. No.
No, I think he just... did we? I don't think so. I think I looked together with Gary Wright, and he just overtook Hopley over there.
Yes.
I think that was maybe the part.
Yes.
But it looks like he is running a lot faster. It's funny also. Oh, I see steam. I see smoke in front of us, but no car. So that's probably now where we see that tires are gonna matter. And I'm curious to see what's happening up here. We see 2 wide from Brandon. Brandon takes the position from AJ. Really nicely done on that inside. Love to see that going on.
Yeah, they're doing a classic leapfrog. I think they're probably working together pretty well there.
Yeah, we do see that they're also talking to each other. It's curious. I'm curious. Let's have a quick look if we can listen in what they're actually saying when they're.
Clean pass from my side.
It's nice to hear that they communicate with each other.
Thanks, dude.
How courtesy! What a courtesy those drivers have.
That's fantastic.
Up front, Twinham and Dorsey are not making it very exciting for themselves. They're really trying to get into their rhythm and keeping that gap with the number 3 position from Butler. You see him right in the back over there. And he's also just taking it easy. We're on lap 50 off 115, so still a long time to go. So let's have a quick look at Brandon Shelton, because he is now right behind Chris. It's a 2-second gap right over there, but he can see Chris. So that probably also gives him some confidence. Okay, we can still do this. We're not there yet, and he can make his attacks.
Yeah, I think Brandon's got to feel pretty good about where he's sitting. Of course, I think Chris is probably feeling pretty confident also, and just wanting to manage their races at this point. If they can go another 15 laps or so, then they're in their next pit stop window. They all still have another tire change available to them, at least one more, and that will set up for what will amount to a sprint to the end. And so I think this is just now all just a waiting game at this point.
Yeah, makes sense. I do see some lapped cars that Chris goes by quite easily. Is that a rule or is that a courtesy in Oval? Because I know we have the blue flags with the skippies, where they're mandatory, so you have to give space to the leaders. Is that the same up here in Oval?
That's a good question. I don't know. I suspect, this being league racing, that the blue flags, at least at a minimum, the courtesy around blue flags is there, and it's possible in this league that blue flags are actually mandatory or instructional, as they say.
Yeah. So we're driving along with Cheeseman and Riley, who are a little bit on the 4th and 5th spot, working together to make sure that at least Small, Shelton and Binish are not coming back, and to see if they can catch up with Butler for that 3rd position. I would be so worried when I would be in the race and I see like I'm 8 seconds behind the leader. It's gone. It's like in a road race, you could have not made that up.
Well, there'll be a time to be worried about an 8-second gap, but that time is not yet now.
No, I'm looking with Riley. I love that British car. They really make it work on these liveries. It's nice to see them all.
I have to say, it's impressive. Just again, Pim, I'm reflecting on the practice session we did on this track last night, and just to see just how consistent and clean the entire field is, top to bottom, on this. It's pretty amazing, and we're approaching now the halfway mark of this 115 lap race. It's and we've had only one full course caution that's pretty good. That's pretty elite territory, just in terms of driving ability and consistency.
So we're driving along with Cody Dorsey again, still behind Twinman, just following up. If you do it like this, does that also mean that you save a lot of fuel? Because when we tested it yesterday, I didn't really see it, but that's probably just also because of my inexperience.
Well, I think for sure, because Twynham and Dorsey might actually be pushing pretty hard, but generally you are lifting the throttle going into especially turns 1 and 3, and really just easing back on through turns 2 and 4. And so if you do have the benefit of the draft, the amount and the that you lift and the length of time that you're lifting, and how gradually and slowly you're squeezing back on the throttle, all of those things will help save you fuel. And in the iRacing simulator, that fuel consumption is really determined completely by the percentage of throttle that you're using. So it can make a big difference. And again, with only one more fuel stop possibly left in the race, that could be a real difference maker.
Yeah, I'm curious how that will work out. So we do expect that they're gonna do one more pit stop at least, or you have also no clue about that?
Well, no, I think they'll need one more pit stop because they're again, I would calculate around lap 70, maybe 68 or so. The fuel window, the pit stop window will open, and it'll stay open up to about lap 80. So let's say between 68 and 80, assuming no full course cautions, will be the next open fueling window. And so we'll see everyone come in, and it'll be super interesting if it comes in under green.
Peter, I do see two things coming up right now. I see that Dorsey is losing a little bit more space. I'm not sure where the draft will stop, but I see that he's around that 1 second, where he was a lot closer in the beginning. And I also see a very interesting match coming up for our championship, because Brandon really is coming a lot closer to Small. The yellow car is really gaining on that white car. I love that little pig on the back of Shelton's car.
Yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of a pack with Robert Riley, Chris Smorl, and Brandon Shelton, and it's kind of interesting to see how that develops.
Yeah, is that in front of Smorl Riley? Because I think that's a lapped car, which they're working together with. Because I think Riley is a lot further. So within the pack, they are still working together. Even the blue flags up here, because he has a blue flag, but Chris is staying behind him.
Meanwhile, Ryan Twynham up front is still seems to be pushing hard, setting pretty fast laps, staying consistently in the low and mid 31-second range per lap.
Yeah, and he's going a lot faster than Dorsey right now. You definitely can see that. He's gonna win that part. Look at that speed right over here. It's like 150 right in that corner.
And it's incredible, and he's coming right up on the, Nathan Moorer.
Yeah, that's. I do have a soft spot for Orange, being Dutch. I love his car. It's a great car to see. He gives that room quite easily. And now see if you can stick behind it, because Twinman is the leader, so he's the fastest. Let's see if you can get some draft. But this is also a good opportunity for Dorsey. He can come a little bit closer.
It does look like Brandon Shelton has gotten around Chris Smorl, and
Yeah,
so
and I also have here an update about David Medina. He already went into the pit, so we do see people now going into the pit. Medina has taken his 4 tires and is now going out again. But that's a move that he's making right here. It's one of the first ones actually going into the pit.
yeah, super interesting. And I'm not sure that he'll have enough fuel to get to the end. It's possible. These guys are going to be more experienced and more knowledgeable about this than you or me. But
Yeah.
that seems pretty hard because we're only at lap 65.
And
So
while
there's
while
a
we were
long way to
watching
go.
while we were watching that, Peter, we missed some action because Shelton actually overtook Small and is now in that 6th position. So now he is where he is in front of Small, and now it's his chance to actually start attacking, making Small work for his points.
Well, I think Chris Morrill will definitely want to keep an eye on Brandon Shelton, but as long as he stays in sight, finishes clean, I think he'll still be okay. But yeah, Brandon's doing what he needs to do, and he's running a great race.
All right, let's have a quick look. Let's see if we can drive along with David, who just got new tires. So that will make a difference. They will definitely see some more people coming up. Here from the inside, from hometown Orlando, David is driving a lot more smooth right now with his new tires, and he clearly can catch up with a lot of people. I'm going to suspect that people are going to look at David and see what he does with his timings. And if it goes really quick, then more people will definitely will feel coming into the pit.
Pim, just thinking about the strategy here, in road racing, David might have done something that we would call an undercut. He's a couple of laps down, and this is a way that maybe with that early pit stop that he can get some speed and unlap himself. And then if he gets a little bit lucky with the full course caution.
Ooh. You see Ryan having difficulties with a lapped car. He's nearly came very close over there, but he just passed him through. And like Ryan says, nothing is harder than life. It's about getting up. Well, I think Ryan is getting up because he has currently a 2.40 lead right there from Dorsey. And he just continues. He continues with getting those lapped cars over there. That's probably also a good thing. You can get some draft from them.
Absolutely.
We see that Nathan Moore also has entered the pit. So I see more people now taking the advice from Medina and says, all right, we're also going into that pit. Interesting.
Well, and for Nathan Moore, it's the same thing. David Medina is making up some ground and, might be able to unlap himself from 2 laps down to 1 lap down. And, Nathan Moore is in a similar situation. So, it could work out for them. It could be important. And they'll need to get a little bit lucky with another full course caution after they make up some ground for this to work. But I guess it's the oval track version of an undercut.
Yeah, and I do think that we're seeing up here for position number 6 and 7, Shelton is running a little bit away. So what we were saying is actually happening right now. Shelton is really putting the pressure on Chris Morrill and is trying to gain a little bit more time. Probably that pig is helping him right over there. He's pushing him along, trying to get away from Smurl, and that seems to work quite well.
Yep. AJ Binish is in the pits, so we are starting to see this, and I'm really, really curious to see if these folks who have taken these early pit stops are able to get to the end.
Yeah, so how do we see Medina? He went into the pit really early. Where is he right now? I see him on position number 9.
Well, in fact, yeah, I think he's running Yeah, in P11 and chasing down John Hopley. If you get around John Hopley and then all the way up to AJ and Justin White, he'll have made up a lap, and so
It seems
it's
to
working
work.
so far.
Yeah, it seems to work for
Yep.
him very well.
Yep.
He's really making up speed. So looking up there, I think that should be interesting to see for the leaders. What are they doing? I think Chris is really not following that strategy. He's really dropping down a little bit more. I don't think he's that worried about. He wants to finish it without going into the pits, or at least he's waiting for that yellow caution.
Meanwhile, at the front, Ryan Twinham is just really just driving such a strong race here and really setting the pace. And yeah, I think he's just put pressure on the entire field by doing this. It's pretty impressive.
Driving along here with Kevin Bullock in the back position, number 16, 7 laps out. That's got to be difficult. It's going to be so difficult to keep your concentration and keep driving up here, but he's doing that job.
Well,
Really
he's
nice.
he's setting some good lap times, so he's driving strong. But you're right. I think it's especially for a longer race like this. It is all about just maintaining concentration and focus.
All right, let's look at that Mountain Dew car from Medina, who was the first one to actually went into the pit. If you look, he's did a really good job. He's made up some positions in that pit strategy and is now on position 9. Is a little bit on his own, still a lap down.
Well, and he's really hoping to. His next target is Justin White.
I see
running
someone
ahead.
going into the pit. I see Chris Small going into the pit right now on lap 78. And Sheldon was continuing, so that's an interesting one to see, where we can actually see if this is going to work. He's spitting right over here, Chris, our champion leader.
Yeah, Cody Dorsey is in the pits as well.
We're seeing that Chris is taking full tires, 4 tires right over here. And we see also the leader coming in, Ryan Twiggham, for the first time, is coming in on lap 78. Nice to see. Immediately people are following him, and I see also Cheeseman coming in, Sid Butler coming in. This is the time where we have that pit window open, where everybody sees that we need to go in. So let's have a look what Shelton is doing, because he is not going into that pit. He's just keep on going.
Yep. Well, and in fact, just as we were saying a while ago, this is around lap 78. We predicted would be when the pit window opens if things stay green as they have, and they'll stay open for maybe another 10 laps after this, and so this is going to set up an incredibly interesting final end game for this race.
Yeah, so Shelton is now just hoping for a caution. I think that's got to be it. That he needs to have that caution to. He has a 22 lead, but I don't think he can continue this. If everybody goes into the lap, then you need to see him coming in as well. I think even more impressive is that Twinham is still on that lead, and he really made a big gap with Cheeseman right over there. It's 6 seconds. And while we see that, we see also Shelton going into the pit. So now it's waiting for Chris to come by. Big break right over there on the line. Very smooth driving from Shelton, and he's going into that in his pit box. I noticed this as well, that you have to brake quite early to actually do this right. But Sheldon seems to be an expert and is taking his 4 tires. So let's have a quick look. Let's look where Chris is on the track. And if we can see if he's going to make this, yes or no. We're driving along with him. He's in that pack with 3-4 drivers. And he's coming now past that pit lane. And we do see that Sheldon is already out, but he needs to be on speed. And this is now where you see that it worked for Small. Look at that. That's going to be a big lead he's going to take from Shelton.
You know, Pim, this is just incredibly fascinating. You know what? This race staying so clean, this sets up, I think, a super challenging end of the race here. You know, if the race continues to stay green like this is going to be a long final stint for most of these cars. And, you know, things are going to get very, very challenging, I think, for all of these guys right at the end. It's... I have no idea what to expect, and you know, frankly, I feel a little scared for them if it does stay green like this. It's pretty, you know, this is going to be a long, long final stint.
All right, let's look at that number 3 position, Robbie Cheeseman, number 16, beautiful car, like his the Timbits on there. He's made up some spots as well. He did go into the pit or not? Because it looks like he gained a lot of seconds from Butler, and he's really steady. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm showing that he also did pit with all the others, and so he's made up some good ground. And Sid Butler, you know, is running P4, and you know he. Had the early race issues, and but he's really, you know, made up a ton of ground, and is up 13 spots from where he qualified.
Yeah, but I do think that he wants to have that 3rd spot back. He had it, he was there, so he's going to go for it. I think that's definitely one of the things that needs to be done. Get closer to the 3rd position. But impressive lead of Twinham over Dorsey, where they were like 0 seconds behind. It's suddenly a 7-second gap, and gaining a lot.
Chris Morrill, running back now in P5, has just gotten around David Medina.
But Medina coming from the back, that strategy was the best. Going in so early really gave him this 6th position right now. And if he's lucky, he can get that draft from Small, can bring him a far end.
Oh yeah, look, he's managed to unlap himself. He was 2 laps down, and I think that was great strategy. He's now on the lead lap, and you know, that's brilliant. I mean, when was the last time, Pim, you or I ever managed that?
Unlap myself? No, that's. I will officially tell that that's never happened in the league. But it's great to see that they're driving so clean over here.
Oh, I'm amazed. But you know, I'll be even more amazed if they can keep it this clean right to the end. You know, they're going to have to stretch out this final stint if it stays green.
Yeah, you can clearly see up here that Sheldon and Binish have a different line, where Sheldon is going more on the inside, Binish stays on the outside. I think that's really to save his tires and to maintain that speed. Curious if that's going to work out for him, because it would be good if he gets behind there.
You know, talking about David Medina again, you know, with that early pit stop, he's now 25 laps in to his stint since that last pit stop. So he will need to stop again. So I think for his undercut strategy to really stick, he probably more than anyone in his top 10 is going to need a full course caution.
Yeah. But we do see Shelton coming back up to the 7th position. I think he's getting back into that rhythm. And Twinham is just going, takes it now already 9 seconds from Dorsey.
Yeah, Ryan Twinham's just really he's just in a different league in this race. He's just pushing so hard. And now we're coming up, completing 90 laps, and so we're pretty much coming to the end game of this race coming up now.
Yeah, it's nice to see, and also if you look at the championship points, Ryan Twinman can really make a good deal over here. I think he can gain a lot of spots. He's currently on position number 9, but definitely a number 6 position is in the way. Seeing that Neil also is out of the race already, so maximum point scoring opportunity right over here with Twinham. It's nice to see that this competition stays very active in this way.
You have to really appreciate how well Chris Smorrell has been managing his race so far. He's running, just a solid P5, and it's been largely drama-free for Chris.
It's drama-free, but I do have to say Sheldon is putting the pressure on, because he's passing Riley now, and as I said that he was getting into his rhythm, you can see that he's getting more and more into this rhythm. He's going back where he was, right behind Smorrell. So it's again not all over. 23 laps to go right here in Atlanta. It's nice, beautiful weather here on the in the sim. I have to say, up here in real Atlanta, we have flood-strewn streamings. I'm not even sure. Peter, would you think that they would drive in the rain?
Oh, I think a track like this, absolutely not.
All right. So that's
yep.
So good to see that here in the, Atlanta we have good weather as usual. I'm really curious if we see some more action coming, because people are getting pushed right now. It's 20 laps to go, or 22 laps to go. If you want to do something, you need to do it right now.
Yeah. Hey Pim, have you, given that you live in Atlanta, have you been to Atlanta Motor Speedway?
You had to ask me. Yes. No, I don't even know. I have not been there. I would love to. I was gonna plan to go to Road Atlanta, but too bad that with the pandemic, not much happening right over there. But seeing this, I'm definitely gonna go. I don't know if there's a race soon, but I will look it up. But it looks very exciting.
Yeah, and I think the great thing, I've watched a few races at fast oval speedways when I was living in Michigan at Michigan International Speedway, and the wonderful thing is, even for
Peter,
big,
I'm gonna. We have someone again on the pit stop. It's Medina, who, as you said, he couldn't make it. He's waiting for that line, and yeah, he's not gonna make that. So he needs to pit one more time. Yeah, that's gonna.
And he was really losing pace. He was more than 30 laps in since his last stop, and so I'm sure he just needed fuel, needed tires.
So if we make that calculations, how long did he run on those tires?
Looks like 32 laps.
And how many laps is Ryan Twinman currently on his tires?
18 laps.
All right, so he can make that same thing and doesn't have to pit. That's going to be, so only fuel is going to be a strategy right over here.
Yeah, and I think they will have enough fuel. All the leaders who made the pit stop around 18, 20 laps ago will be able to stretch it out and finish. And so it will really just be about how comfortable these guys are as their tires start to wear, and it gets harder and harder to manage the tire temperatures. Especially that front right really takes a lot of abuse here. And as we said at the beginning, when we were on track, that right front tire, especially through turn 2, it's really treacherous. It just is something that the car starts to get very tight. And you and I both found, Pim, once that happens, you can have a tendency to try to overcorrect with steering input there and lose the rear end. And that, these guys are going to have to manage that very, very carefully.
Yeah, and that is what we're seeing right now. We're driving along with Sheldon in the in-car, and we're looking at Chris Small in the front. And I do have to say, I do see Chris really being careful right here. I saw a little slip before, so he might have difficulties with his tires. This could be interesting. If Sheldon can pass him right here, then at least he can gain some points in this race, because that is important for him.
Yeah. You know, Pim, you and I know Chris Morrill personally, and he's such a chill, kind of relaxed dude. But I'll bet he's sweating a little bit right now.
I'm curious if he's swearing right now. I don't think so. He should be fine. He's in a good position with 16 laps to go. Twimmen, Dorsey, and Cheeseman are not championship leaders. I think he's just gaining the smart choice right over here. I think he can even let Sheldon pass and still be safe. So all the pressure is on Sheldon right now. And while they're still fighting, we have a quick look on Twinham. He's passing some lapped cars. They're probably all talking to each other, thanking each other. It's a nice friendly league up here with hard fighting and great racing. Yeah, it's nice to see that going along. I see
John Hopley's in the pit lane.
Oh yeah, so you do see that people took that risk and it's not working out for them. So I'm curious if that's the same with Small and Shelton, because Shelton is now really right behind him.
Well, and John Hopley, you know, that was a super long stint. You know, 48 laps.
48, wow.
Yep.
That's impressive. I had troubles with 10 laps of driving. 40, that's amazing. And how is Medina doing? Because he's still on that 10th position with an extra pit stop. Is he gaining a lot right now? He's back where he started, 2 laps down.
Well, in fact, there he's going around Sean Cheeseman, and he's got a fresh set of tires, and he has no fuel worries at all. So all he can do now is just push as hard as possible and try to unlap himself again.
While we're driving along with Shelton, really nice to see that he's getting so much closer now. 12 laps to go, so yeah, it is really now. If he wants to make a move, then he needs to pass. Or do you think he's just going to be happy? He's just going to be okay.
Well, you know, I think the thing that if the race ends like this, I think Brandon is probably going to be pretty happy because he's still within striking distance. And, you know, the season ender at Talladega, literally, you know, as we know, at Talladega, anything can happen.
Oh, you have to update me about that, because I have no idea what happens in Talladega. It seems that what happens in Talladega stays in Talladega, because I didn't hear of it. Well, is that a special track? What's up with that?
Yes, track? It's just, you know, one of the legendary super speedways. It's famous especially for just really kind of nose to tail bump drafting. And when things go wrong at Talladega, you know, just it can take out large parts of the field. And so what a great way to end the season for these guys.
That's going to be exciting. I actually want to see that one. And especially with their great broadcaster. I've looked a couple of them of Freaky Fast. He is missed. And I don't think we can replace him. If you heard him talk, he had so much information. It was awesome to see that. So is that next week?
That's next week, and yeah, to your point about Freaky Fast, yeah, they are great. We are just so amateur at this compared to those guys, but yeah, that'll be a fun race to watch for sure.
Yeah, I do know why he gets his name Freaky Fast, because he talks really fast. I like the Freaky Fast replays. I think we need to do something similar like that.
Yep.
While we're talking about Freaky Fast, I do see that Cheeseman is really getting a little bit closer to Dorsey. Where it was over 3 seconds, we're now looking at 2.4, and he's really gaining on him. So maybe that can be an interesting thing to see, if he can catch up with Cheeseman right there.
And we are seeing Brandon Shelton continuing to, I think, just breathe down Chris Morrill's neck. You know, see what kind of pressure he can put there, but they're keeping it clean otherwise.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice to see that. But that's also what you need in a league. I think the best thing what we always have in our Skippy, the Sunday night Skippy League, is that we say we're going to meet each other next race. We're going to see each other on Discord, and that helps. It's not. Oh, we see someone going down. This is number 76.
Yes,
Cheeseman, the
that's
other
Sean
Cheeseman.
Cheeseman. All right, so let's see, and indeed we do have a full course yellow with just 7 laps to go.
No, that changes the game. That changes the game at all. Let's have a quick look at this. What really happened? Let's see it. Let's try to see this from the front. That was an. He came. He was on the line. Oh, and he just doesn't hold that car. Hold the brakes and needs to stop. It is coming onto the line, and yeah, then that's a yellow caution.
But you know, it's one of these situations because he was about 30 laps in to his stint from this last pit stop, and you know, these cars, the tires are going to get a little sketchy, and so now this, of course, will undo all of the work that Ryan Twinham was doing to kind of serenely pull out a big lead, and you know, it's going to. I think we're going to have a shootout probably for about 2 laps. I'm guessing.
Because the yellow caution, the yellow laps are also counted.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's an amazing end, an unexpected end. That's and do you think then they're all going into the pit right now, or they're continuing?
No, I think they'll stay out here. Looks like no. I'll eat my words. Chris Morrill, Brandon Shelton are in the pits.
Yeah, they're all going for new tires because I think if we saw what Medina was doing at the last moment, going that fast, that was just amazing.
Indeed, yeah. Gary Wright's in the pit.
But I don't see Twinman going into the pit.
No.
All right, I'm gonna have a quick look if we can do some small talk with Ryan. Let me give a quick look. Is Ryan going into that pit?
Let's see, we won't know for a little bit here.
Hey Ryan, this
actually
is,
more than
Ryan.
60. I forget how many laps I ran on him.
Ryan Twinman, this is Pim. Do you want to come on to the broadcast?
Sure, why not?
All right, Peter. We're up here on the broadcast. We had a quick look with Ryan. Ryan, welcome in the broadcast. You're leading. What is your thoughts about it? About this yellow?
Well, I knew it was too good to be true. I've had such bad luck this season. I was counting down the laps, and about 2 or 3 laps before it came out, I said I was waiting for it to strike, and it would have been nice. I'm gonna do my darndest to hold on, but these guys behind me, I think 5th, 6th, and 7th all have tires, so I'm a sitting duck, but I'll do my best.
You gave us a... Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, we were just, I think our hearts sank for you because you were just, all of that work, it was amazing. The pace you were saying, you were really forcing the issue in the whole field. And this was the one thing I think that you didn't want to happen. And so, you know, we were going to wish you the best in this final shootout here.
Yeah, and absolutely. What went into my decision making, the 84 sitting in second there, he pulled the same stunt. I don't know if it was last time we were here or it was another speedway where he took tires on that one caution and it went green so long and he was way out in front of everybody. It was his race to lose. So I was sliding into my pit stall when I said I checked the tires last second, and then worked in my favor until now.
It's not over yet. We have 4 laps to go. You are in that leading position. I wish you well. Concentrate and make sure you keep this position. Thanks for coming to the booth, and good luck on this race.
Hey, I appreciate you guys filling in.
All right, man. Right, so they're now all back. I missed a little bit who's into the pit and who didn't, but can we get a quick update, Peter? How is the fight with Smurl and Shelton?
Right, and so Chris Morrill, Brandon Shelton are running P6, P7. They did pit, and so they have fresh tires. Sid Butler running in P4, also pitted, took on tires, and so I think it's going to be really, really interesting. And to Ryan's point, it's going to be challenging. Ryan was pulling out about a half lap lead. He could be a sitting duck. I think Cody Dorsey is in a pretty challenging spot, and then Robbie Cheeseman running P3. They all have 35 laps on those tires.
Yeah. So how Riley? I think he was mentioning Riley. He's at like how many laps did he? How many laps on his tires?
Also about 35 laps.
All right.
So Chris Morrill, and Brandon Shelton. They're going to be.
And the car is in. They're going off. Dorsey is setting himself up. Oh, and they're going immediately. Where he's going? He's going to the inside.
There's incidents in the back that's going to.
Well, what was that happening? That was even just before the line.
Oh, what this looked like to me was. They just lit up the tires. It's these worn tires, and
you're not Peter. You're not going to tell me they made the same mistake as I did. Let's have a quick look here at Robert Cheeseman. Who crashed.
And Ryan Twynham did manage to keep it on track, but he also lit up the tires, and he's. Cody Dorsey's now up in the lead. So let's see how they're running here. It looks like Cody Dorsey, Chris Smorrell, Ryan Twynham now in that order, P1, 2, and 3.
Wow, we're looking at the replay, but this was really weird. This was on the straight. I'm not a oval driver, but I don't think that should be that. That was a weird start, and it also means that Twynham actually lost his spot right here. And is running now on third position.
Absolutely, and I think it's just a matter of how worn these tires were, and just lighting them up a little bit too much right on that race restart.
Oh, and we do see a lot of damage on Brandon Shelton's car. His front, especially his back, is completely damaged. Our little pig is hurt right in the face over there. So that's gonna be challenging to actually make a move. I don't see much damage on Chris Small, his car, and Chris Dorsey seems to have no damage at all. He missed everything.
So anyway, we're going to set up for another 2-lap shootout, and so we're going to go beyond the 115 laps, and so it'll be just, again, super interesting. And I'll bet you these top 3 drivers, especially Cody Dorsey and Ryan Twynham, are going to have to be very delicate on this race restart so that they don't run into the same issues. And now this sets up Chris Smorrell on fresh rubber. Just really sets them up. Yep.
Yeah, I'm feeling so sad for Sid Butler, who gained all those positions, and then in this last pack, in this last 3 laps to go, he comes into that accident. It can't repair his car, and it's really on that last positions right now. Gary Wright and Sean Cheeseman are still in the pit. Not sure if they come back for these last three laps. So what are we going to see right now?
Well, you have to think that Cody Dorsey is pretty much a sitting duck here because Chris Morrill, is just going to have so much fresher rubber. Cody Dorsey's 40 laps on his current set of tires.
Man, I'm just rooting for Twinman. He needed to win that one. He was 10 seconds away, and now he's the 3rd position.
He was running so strong, and he's also kind of a sitting duck. Brandon Shelton on fresh rubber. right behind him.
Yeah,
It's,
but Shelton has a damaged car, so that could also play a role in this part. So fresh tires and a broken car. I'm curious what that does. His front looks quite okay. Not much damage on there, but the back is really hurt.
Looks like they're going to go around for another one more caution lap here. This, while we have to feel for, Ryan Twinham and Cody Dorsey in this situation, it's just rotten luck for us as broadcasters, and I'm sure for the viewers. This is one of the most incredibly exciting ways to finish a race.
Yeah, this is going to be full blast. 3 laps to go. We're driving along here with Justin White on position 14, 5 laps down. So I don't think he's going to play a role, but he's definitely going to make it interesting over here and just see how far he can get.
Yeah, so Pim, what's going to happen here is, as soon as the safety car goes in, it's going to, the race is going to finish, assuming no further cautions, with a 2-lap shootout.
All right. I think I can actually see 3 to go right over here. So that could be there could be some small changes, or maybe this is
this is the one of the 3 laps.
Okay.
It's a 2-lap shootout. Yep. And let's see if the safety car comes in here. Field looks set pretty clean.
Yeah, he goes in, and then that's where we're going. Dorsey is leading this pack.
Yeah, he's going to want to keep it slow here and then try to get a jump.
The lights are on red, and we're green and we're off, and Chris is really taking a nice move right over there. Gets Shelton immediately behind Chris, wants to make sure he keeps that traction. And they're going 3 right over there. Wow, 4 wide. This is exciting. Look at that for position number 2. We see Dorsey, Binish, and Twinham all for that position. Come on, Twinham, go for it. Chris is waiting his whole race, and he's now suddenly on that speed. Look at that. Immediately takes a 6.70 lead, while Shelton is overtaking and is really making the moves on Binish and Dorsey. While Twinham really is hurting his tires.
Yep, and here we're just seeing tires. So AJ Binish on fresh tires, got around Cody Dorsey, and and now next up is Brandon Shelton, also on fresh tires.
Yeah, we're driving along with Brandon right over here. It's very interesting to see.
Yes. What a finish! What a shootout! And so we see Chris Smorrell winning the race on fresh rubber. What amazing race strategy and tire management there for him. AJ Binish in P2 and Brandon Shelton finishing P3.
That's and too bad for Twinham on position number 5. Worked all his way around, and couldn't make that work. Takes that 5th position, and here we have Chris Smorrell going into making the celebration over here. Well deserved.
Cody Dorsey finishing a strong P4, but what could have been P1 or P2 for him. It was definitely possible.
Yeah, we're looking at the burnouts from Chris. He's making the people happy over here. It's quite crowded. Typical Atlanta right over here. Everybody wants to see the race. And Chris is he taking the championship, or is this just celebration for this race?
Well, I think this pretty much locks it up. Brandon Shelton, depending on how the points work here, probably still mathematically, is in it. But it's something very, very unusual needs to happen at Talladega next week.
All right. Yeah, we see here the final race results with Chris Smorrell on the 1st position, AJ Binish on the 2nd position. Brandon Shelton takes that 3rd position. That didn't look that way in the beginning, but really came back strong and was constantly on the back of Chris Smorrell to make sure that he kept that contact. Position number 4, Cody Dorsey. Ryan Twinham, number fifth. It's he at least get that position. Too bad that he couldn't make it. I'm curious what he's going to say about the race. Then we have Robert Cheeseman on position number 7, Robert Riley number 8, and David Medina with his quick early pit stop is number 9. So really gained eventually from that from all those early pit stops. Number 10 position is Nate Mauner. 11 John Hopley. Number 12 Sebastian Scott. Number 13 position Gary Wright. 14 Sid Butler. Really bad that accident on the last part where otherwise he would have definitely be on the podium or close by. We have on number 15 Kevin Bullock, number 16 Sean Cheeseman, lost from Robbie but lost also from a lot of other people. And then we have number 17 Doc Neal. He was out quite early. And I don't think Jeff Fiver actually started the race. So those are the race results for today.
Hey, Pim, we have our race winner, Chris Smorrell, in the broadcast booth with us. Hey, Chris, congratulations.
Thanks, man. How you guys doing? How was the race?
Oh, man, we've seen many different things. I'm really curious. So how was the race for you? Because we saw you in the back taking it easy. And then Brendan Shelton came a lot closer. How was that for you? How did you see the race?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was taking it easy. That implies that I was cruising, man. I'll tell you what, the strategy that played out was very interesting. Took a gamble and kept the tires on the car, assuming we were going to have another caution. Did not work out, and Brandon was a lot quicker. Once, I don't know what lap, maybe like lap 30 or whatever. I couldn't hang on to it anymore, and he sailed by. Luckily, that last caution that came out, I mean, that's really the only reason that that all worked out, because we still had a set of tires in the pits, and as you can see here, that is kind of all it takes, removes all the spill from it.
We were so impressed with the pace that you guys were setting and just how clean the race was. And it looks like Brandon Shelton's just joined us in the broadcast booth. Hey, Brandon, great race.
Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys coming out. That Chris, man, he is quick.
Well, he could be quick, but we did see that you were closing up quite a bit. How did you feel after that third pit of that third caution? What happened for you? Can you explain? Because I did see that your car was damaged. Your little pig on the back got hurt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So when the last caution came out, I was praying to the racing gods, because the strategy was to hold on to a set just in case we had a late caution. And that second to final restart, I think some of the guys up front that didn't have the fresh tires ended up spinning their tires and caused another caution. That's where I got my damage. But other than that, we would have been really, really off pace if that last caution didn't come out. So luckily that this time it played out for us, but it's still trying to catch that 5 car is next to impossible.
Yeah, oh man, you got a feel for Ryan Twinham. I'm not sure if you saw what happened, but he had a 10-second lead over everybody, and yeah, that last caution's really hurt him badly. I'm curious if what you guys in the race, we saw that David Medina was very early in his pit stops. Did you guys also check that out and see his times, or how does that work in the race?
Well, yeah, with different strategy, guys were pitting and they were working their way to the finish. As far as I'm talking in circles here, so guys are pitting differently based on their tire wear, or sometimes fuel. Here at Atlanta, it's all about tire wear. The track is so hot, so if guys are feeling comfortable at the 35-40 lap, those lap times, they feel comfortable in their tires, they might stretch it a little further. But yeah, a lot of guys, that first caution came out, I think at lap 25, 26, something like that.
Yep. 27,
And,
yeah.
Okay, 27, yeah, and guys were screaming on the radio like, "I'm getting tires. I need tires. I need tires." And luckily, we had saved a little bit, and I've saved a little bit, and I was like, I think the call here is to just get fuel only, save a set of tires for the end and see what happens.
It did seem like, with as clean as the race was running, that the folks who were trying to manage their tires early on had a real advantage here, and so that was probably good on you.
Appreciate it. I do think I do save decently, and that's what makes it fun for me. I cannot pass that Chris. I'm telling you guys, he is second to none.
Man, that's the thing though, is I can't take away anything from this race because we just got super lucky that caution came out and you know what I mean. So when we're talking, like, I don't know if I would have played that, if I'll play that differently next time or what, but I think Brandon's being very nice and generous. But you saw him; he had the speed there after a certain point, and I was toast. So I would have been dead to rights with the other pit strategies notwithstanding. So, yeah, man, it's good though because it pushes you to want to be learn how to do it, learn how to be a little better, adjust what you can on the fixed setups to see what works, and that's what I like about it. I think that's the most fun part, hanging out in the Discord, racing, and then just learning hopefully something new every week.
Well, looks like, Pim, we have other people waiting to get in the broadcast booth, and so Chris and Brandon, finishing on the podium's got to be a pretty nice Father's Day gift for both of you guys. Just congratulations, and I don't know if you have any shout-outs to give to anyone.
I mean, just a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And of course, my family. They were pretty excited that they got to watch the race today. And yeah, we're always going to be happy with the podium results. But nice racing for the rest of the guys in the league too. Again, learning stuff from them every week, and it's just a great group. And we're sorry that some of the guys couldn't come out and make it, but hopefully we put on a show.
Well, you definitely put up a show. This was really really good to see. For me, a first race to actually finish from start to finish. I enjoyed it a lot, and I thought it was amazing how you guys did the strategies. I'm definitely gonna come back to more of next week and watch it with Freaky Fast, because I'm really curious how the last race is gonna be. My final question, just want to make sure, Chris, do you already have the championship right now, or are we still up for last race?
It depends on who you ask. If you ask Brandon, it's a toss up. It's a toss up.
All right, then
now,
I'm gonna ask it on. Then don't answer this question. Then I'm gonna ask that last question to Brandon. Brandon, do you still see that you have a chance on the last race?
Oh, absolutely. I'm putting him in the wall.
All right.
Anything can happen.
Hell or high water, here we come.
All right, guys. Have a great Sunday. Thanks very much that we could do this, and awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. I was gonna save myself for last, but really appreciate you guys stepping up on Father's Day, missing the F1 race, all that stuff that you'd normally be doing. You did and volunteered to do this for us, and we really can't thank you enough.
All right.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I'll just piggyback on him. Really appreciate you guys coming out and broadcasting for us. Really excited to watch it back, and happy Father's Day to everyone. And thanks 1,000 times over for you guys coming out.
Right.
Appreciate it.
No worries, no worries. You guys made quite some entertainment, so all good. Thanks very much.
Yep. Great. Hey, Pim, let's bring AJ Binish, our number 2 finisher, into the broadcast booth. AJ, welcome to the broadcast booth.
Hey, having me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you, and we want to congratulations with your second position. Awesome to do that. Can you tell us a little bit what happened in this race for you?
Mostly it was trying not to wreck everyone for my first race. I was sitting in the back figuring that, the best way I was going to win this race against guys that are a lot more experienced here is to just, try to go on one stop and hope for a late caution and then use those new tires. So fortunately, that worked out. Unfortunately for, Ryan, he was having a great race, and then, the late caution kind of changed the world. So.
Yeah, we talked about that. Ryan was really unlucky with that part. What can you tell us a little bit more about what happened on that last caution? We were going into on the straight, and then something happened, and I don't think you were involved in that. But could you see from your perspective what happened?
Nah, I was way in the back with after the lucky dog, just hoping to get up close, and then I saw some cars turn sideways, and just tried to make sure we got through it. And if somehow there wasn't a caution, get up there where I could get a top 5 possibly. And then the caution came out, and that kind of gave me a life to give a shot at a kind of top 3 up there. So.
AJ, it was just incredible, and I think more than any other driver on the track, you finished 12 spots up from where you qualified. You got the lucky dog. It just goes to show in NASCAR, anything can happen. It's never really over, almost no matter where you are on track, and you really proved that.
Yeah, the crazier thing is I think Ryan was closing in on Riley right as that second to last caution came out. So I only got lucky dog because that caution came out. If it was a lap later, I'm stuck a lap down and finishing 9th or 10th, I think. So it was really quite perfect timing for me because I was watching those two going, hoping if we got a late caution, I was still the lucky dog, and it was literally less than a lap away from not being it. So
that's an
AJ.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Did you have a strategy in mind? Because you couldn't have counted on those late cautions happening. So were you going to pit under green, or what was going through your mind before those late cautions?
No, I mean, at that point I'd planned it out. So on the first caution around lap 28 or so, I came in and just took gas, knowing I wanted to save the tires. Had the one green flag stop around lap 70 where I knew I could get to the end on tires and fuel. And then just kind of said, all right, I'm going to run the tires off. Look at the top 10 if there's no yellow. And otherwise, if there's a yellow, I got a chance. I think I'd counted, maybe 2, 3, 4 guys that would have a set of tires left that were on the lead lap. So that was kind of all in the plan. If no yellow, top 10, good enough day for me. So.
Well, it came a little bit more than a top 10, and you're actually on the podium right there. And the luck or the strategy that you had that worked out so well for you didn't work out for Ryan. Let's have a quick look if Ryan wants to comment on that. Ryan, how did the end of the race go for you? Great to hear you back in the broadcast.
Yeah, when that caution came out while I was talking to you guys, I realistically thought I was fighting for a top 5. So I am happy that I held the top 5.
Yeah, no, I think I was rooting for you even harder because you really deserve that. You had that 10-second lead. We were just talking to AJ, who was actually saying that he had got all the luck of his strategy working for you. And I think it was for you just the other way around. So well done that you could maintain at least that number 5 position. Any things that you have for the next race that you want to already to think about, or strategies or parts that you need to do?
It's no secret, and I know you guys don't know the backstories or anything, but the guys know I'm pretty good at the super speedways. Pushing wise, I'm always up at the front trying to push somebody to the win. But I think next week I might be a little selfish and try to win one for myself. After today, I feel like but I really, really wanted this race. I said last week I felt like I could win this race. I'm always good at Atlanta, Texas, and then obviously Talladega is one of my favorite and best tracks. So I'm still in disbelief over what happened.
Yeah, it was incredible. Although, as we were saying during that last caution, we, as broadcasters and spectators, it was just incredibly exciting. And for both you and AJ here in the broadcast booth, the thing I think that Pim and I were so impressed with was just how well you guys were able to stretch out your tires and the way that you were managing the race, and and yet you were just the pace that you guys were setting was pretty incredible. And I know both of you guys were prepared to finish without those late cautions, but it's it really, really impressed us. Pim and I did our own practice session on track yesterday, and after 10 laps, we were struggling. And so what you guys did was pretty darn amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing. And Ryan, I do want to mention, you maybe lost a couple of spots, but you definitely won a fan. I was really rooting for you, and I'm definitely going to come back next week to see you win in Talladega. So promise me that we will see an exciting race the next time.
Hey, I'll put on a show next week. I promise you that.
All right.
And I'm going in for the victory.
All right, I'm gonna be there. Your car is beautiful. Love that pink color. It's a true Barbie car.
Yeah, last week I typically drive a white and red Budweiser Chevy, and last week I said, now in our Xfinity race, I called my shot. I said I'm going to win today, and then I ended up winning. So I took it a step farther, and after last week's Cup race, I go, I'm going to win the next 2 races, and they said, oh, if you don't, you're going to have to race a Barbie car. So I'm like, well, shout out to Brennan. He painted up a Barbie scheme, and I said it looks so good. You know what? I'm gonna race that next weekend at Dega.
Yeah, really good choice. I think it's an amazing story, and yeah, no, we're gonna see that in Talladega how that ends up. Do you guys want to do a shout out or anything that you want to say as last words?
Shout out to all the fathers out there for happy for Father's Day and all that. I'm the only Rev racer in here, but I'd like to thank my Rev Racing team: Keith, Joe, Mike, Matt, and Rhino, and you guys for filling in. I always listen to the broadcast as I'm racing, and you guys did a heck of a job filling in. It's nice seeing you guys, even though you're road racers or road broadcasters. You guys did a great job.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I hope these things will bring the road races and oval races a little bit closer. You gave me a little bit of a different insight on what oval racing is, so that's great to see. AJ, you any last words?
Yeah, just thanks for you guys for putting on the broadcast, and thanks for the league for letting me in. Just got in, so appreciate being able to race. Some nice, clean racers with good guys, so appreciate everything that was put on here today.
Well, AJ, just huge congrats, and wow, what a great way to join a league like this, and with that kind of finish, it's it really couldn't be better.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're gonna be worried for next season if that's your start. Awesome.
I don't know if our luck's gonna hold on that long to be that competitive, but it'll be fun.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks very much for this race, for the entertainment, and I like to say the same thing as AJ. All thanks to the fathers. Have a great Father Day and enjoy this weekend.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, everyone.
All right.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Peter, I always let you do the last words. I want to make sure that I thanked everybody from the league. It was very nice to get this opportunity to see a complete race. It was great to see how clean those fights were, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna come back. So, any last words for you, Peter?
Oh, I was just blown away by the quality of the drivers. I mean, it was incredible just to see how strategic, how patient, how fast all these guys were. And then that finish, I mean, you could not, write a movie script for kind of a more dramatic way to finish this race. And, it was just, I was just blown away. And so, how lucky, Pim, for you and me to get a chance to fill in for the broadcast here and have a race like this to broadcast.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be. It was a very interesting thing to see. I am curious, and don't tell me what Formula One has done. So I am going to quickly have a quick look if I can catch up on that one. But I'm definitely going to watch more oval. This is really fun. All right. Thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time with Freaky Fast on this last race, where we're all rooting for Ryan Twinman.